I don't even know how to begin, how to introduce, because the format of this show is, just picking one thing which is big on your mind and something that we want to get a little deeper into and right to the heart of the matter. I thought we could begin with women empowerment, because that is certainly a theme that you've been kind of exploring on social media. Maybe just the two things that are around women empowerment. So, Falguni, Vasavada, Oza, so nice to meet you. Finally, we've got you on just
Yes.
2 things. Right?
Same here, Siddharth.
So the first question that I have got for you is, I'm not being gender specific over here. What do we understand about women empowerment, or what do you think women empowerment is all about, which people understand and misunderstand? And I want us probably to focus more on the misunderstanding side as well.
Mhm. So whenever we use the word empowerment, I think it comes loaded with the power to be, the power to freely exercise your, opinions, decision making, the power to make your choices. So, for example, if a homemaker is with the, her whole heart and soul wants to be a homemaker and give 5 years to her child, it is her choice. That is empowerment, the power to be. Go wherever you want to go, grow in whichever direction you want to go. So that is empowerment, first of all. But people misunderstand the word empowerment and also feminism at times, right?
Mm.
So, say for example, feminism just means equality, nothing else. So equality of beings with the lens of dignity and respect is going to benefit all the members of the society. So women empowerment is mostly misunderstood as being on your own, hating men, looking at the whole world of relationships as women as superior. No, it is not about superiority. It's not about hating men. So all of this is together. We coexist in the society, but coexistence has to be with equality and dignity, and that is what is empowerment all about.
That is so interesting that you're saying that, and there's so many thoughts come to my mind when you've said that. Maybe empowerment is only understood when you're not empowered first. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
maybe. Yes.
so for a man, like you're like, yeah, then why don't you call it equality instead of women
Yeah.
empowerment
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that is certainly one thing that happens. And the interesting thing, which I want to, maybe it's a sub question to the first question, is why does this happen? Why do women take this extreme stance? Is there some thing that we can understand from it, learn
Yes,
from it?
yes. Yeah, so there's the history to it, right? So that's why empowerment at times becomes extreme in your mind as a woman, or even perceived as from a men's lens, right? Because we have to struggle more to establish ourselves. Like, I remember my early career days, and I've heard these statements from educated people from the finance department saying that, oh, you are earning yours is a second salary, must be going only in shopping and fixed deposits. You don't run the house, right? So please remember, HR laws were written by men for men in the work. And that's why today you have side jokes when a woman takes a maternity leave for 6 months.
Just probing this before we get on to the
Yeah.
second question. I just wanted to know, what are your pet peeves or triggers that get you on a daily basis? Which simple things we can change just to be nicer to each other.
Oh yes,
Women,
oh yes. I love the
men.
question already. I love the question already. So one is, of course, the stares that you get when you try to do something different. It may be as small as wearing a blue lipstick,
Mm,
right? Or maybe wearing a sari at an airport.
mm.
So I make reels on that the little black dress is not going to make you modern, or a sari is not making you a Benji. So the judgmental existence needs to stop. First is that is my pet peeve. Second is very gender coded things in mind. So to give you an example, I had gone to buy my car. Okay, and because I love my husband was with me because it was a big decision. We were going to jointly take the decision. I was asking questions about the car, but the car salesman was only talking to my husband. So these pet peeves are: you're married means you always have to be attached. Your partner is also a different person, right?
You live your day in your own life and stuff like that, and you must be coming across a lot of things that irritate you, which the other person doesn't even know that
Yeah.
you're being irritated because of the enculturation that's already happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's your stance? How do you deal with something like that? Or,
So,
when you...
firstly, over the years, after 25 years as a working woman in this country, I've understood that I have to choose my battles, right? I cannot put my energy in everything which is not going to give me any ROI in any form, okay?
Beautifully put.
So I have to keep my energy intact. So I have to choose my battles. So the votes are low. And for everybody internationally listening to us, the random relatives who have the habit of interfering in your lives, you just have to emotionally detach. They should not bother you at all. You don't need to answer them back because they don't deserve your attention. Okay, that's why they
Mm,
don't deserve your energy. But
mm.
yes, at your level of peers, colleagues, friends who matter to you, if such things come up, you have to very nicely but firmly talk about it, right? Say, for example, that no, my salary is not second salary. We jointly contribute to the house, but I'll tell this to only to somebody who matters to me, not
Yeah.
to any random guy who is making this statement. Let him guess and be happy in his whole, pseudo learned world. So that's okay. But you have to choose your fights. And this I tell to every woman around me that, say, for example, I'll not go and change an 85-year-old's mind about menstruation, but I'll talk
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
nieces who are 13 and 14 and tell them that this is pure science, bacha. This is nothing related to, taboo. Don't touch here, don't touch there. You are a normal human being functioning in a woman's body. Your biology leads to menstruation. There's nothing impure about it. So understand where your energies need to be focused on and choose your battles wisely.
Thank you for this wonderful premise that we've got over here. Now, if I have to go to the next question, which is about men, right? Now, I consider myself as somebody who is very ignorant in terms of being, empowerment and all of that. I think that's a good stance to take and
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
have a conversation. But there are many people, men, who probably are navigating this world,
Mm.
okay, of women becoming more empowered, of them being threatened, of some people may be like good people in every other respect, but they're not really with it as far as what we
Yeah.
are just speaking about. And it's a spectrum. I mean, it can go
Yes.
from 1 to 10, right? So I'm just trying to understand, do you have any tips for men like me to actually understand, an empowered woman better?
Sure, sure. I think that's a good space because we need such dialogues, right? So, as a men, I feel please have more empathy of what women go through, what their history was, where they've come from. Secondly, please show the same level of respect and dignity that you will show everywhere. If you wanted that same level, please show it also, right? So, in each and every household, please be an equal partner. And professionally, because I also work a lot with men, and I'm very friendly with my colleagues, and please view them as an individual, because a woman is being friendly, she's not asking for it, right? Have these stereotypes removed. Acha, empathy se women colleagues ko dekhna, it's very easy because women have been empathetic all through. So, and I think we just, as men, you just need to listen more to women voices and internalize those women voices and make the changes at home, in your office spaces, in your friend spaces, in your tribe and zones. That is enough.
No, that's very good, because I think that not all men and everything like that is just pure signaling to you, people who will only vibe with whatever you're saying in any case, for whatever reasons, whether they're biological or whether it's sociological or cultural, seem to lack empathy, right? Which comes very naturally for women. Perhaps cognitively, I'm understanding it, but it's not going down to a behavioral level, right? So what would you recommend, what would you recommend men to actually connect? Okay, I understand what is going on, but at a daily behavioral basis, it's not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah. I think, see, firstly, let me tell you why women are more naturally empathetic, because women have been positioned as caregivers, nutrition providers, Ma Annapurna. They carry the baby in the womb. They leave their own parents' house and move to a new house and make the family their own. So they need to have empathy to be successful in all
Absolutely.
these relationships. And that's why culturally, psychologically, sociologically, it's coded in us. Okay. But I think this whole fascination of men talking to men and women talking to women, which I understand is a very India thing, I think that needs to break. And we need to listen to more women voices. More and more women need to talk it out rather than sulking and keeping it inside and then going for that midlife crisis called depression, right? And then just surviving in a relationship. Please talk it
No,
out. Be more
no,
vocal. Women
I,
also need to do something. Okay.
you've said so many important things. You said about equity and equality. You've talked about the differences of empowerment and
Yeah.
what it actually means and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to listen, but I know as a man, okay, I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm a bad listener. I think that there might be something that enables men to actually be able to listen like women. I'm trying to understand, what do women do to listen so well? Is it just all encoded and encultured, or
Empathy and the perception of dignity, the level of respect you have for the other person. So you won't believe, right from your peer level to your senior level to your junior level, even to your house help, we listen more to them, right, as women. So I think that the moment you're, see, it's about your blurred vision about hierarchy in a relationship. Okay.
mm,
The moment you understand that no, I am not superior to my wife, right? Now you have so many reels on Instagram where you see that the priest in the marriage asked the woman to touch the feet of the men, and the men followed. They said, if she will touch my feet, I will also touch her feet.
I think that's brilliant. There's so much to learn here, Falguni, and I'm so glad that we took this topic.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
so
I'm so
glad
glad.
we focused on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad, because the more it reaches, and I think we've reached to places where, we are able to do this in a practical level, like, at a practical basis.
No, no, I'm very hopeful, Siddharth. Now I see the things are changing, even though at minority level, I am speaking here as a privileged woman, right? So, but things are changing. Like I remember I'd made a 10-second reel where I was on my swing reading newspaper in the morning, and my caption was that if this is what your morning looks like, you are in that 2% privileged women in India,
So,
right? So but things are changing, right? So I'm very hopeful of the next generation, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and I think that is where education will bring everyone at par. And of course competitiveness, ambition, which are right now seen as negative in women and positive in men,
hmm,
that those coding also will
it'll
change.
get balanced.
So
Hmm,
if I'm a globetrotter, I'm seeing as if I'm avoiding my home and my homely duties.
hmm.
But if my
Yeah.
husband was a globetrotter, wow, he's going to
Wow.
US so
It
many
will
times.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so things are changing, and I'm hopeful.
Wonderful. Falguni Vasavada, thank you so much. Many more to come on just two things with you here. But this time around, it was about, and we should be speaking more about this.
Yes,
So thank you so much. It was a
thank you.
pleasure
Thank you for
hosting you.
having me, Siddharth. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.